Simplifiers. Diana with Diana Simplifies here. How are you doing? So I have a really small Dollar Tree haul for you, okay? And I've got a $5 item, so let's not get confused about it. I want to start with the gnomes just in case you like them. So these are the older, I don't know if they had, I cannot remember. I probably ran across gnomes for St. Patty's Day, but I don't remember if these were the ones or if they had new ones, but they've actually brought some new ones out for Easter. So I got a couple of new Easter ones. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had updated these a little bit as well. So anyway, these are my older ones, but they're super cute. So I just have a few gnomes I sit out. It's not like my whole house is gnomes. I know a lot of people are sick of them, but I still think they're cute. So I really liked this one. I have a bunny gnome from before, but I do not have one with this. Is that not? It's so soft and cute. So anyway, there's my little bunny gnome. There's this got little pink feet. It's tag, of course. And it just says gnome decor, and it says $1.25. So the gnomes are still $1.25, yay. Let's see, do you want to sit up here? Can y'all be friends? See if y'all can get along up here. So I have another one with the bunny ears, and I don't remember what it looks like. But I got this female one for my friend that has gnomes because I remember getting her a purplish colored one, and she keeps it in a room all the time. One of her rooms has some purple accents, so I decided to get her the little girl to go with it. So this one also says gnome decor, $1.25. So cute. I love her little polka dots and her little sequins and her little braids. Oh, and she has purple feet. So cute. Okay, so her little feet, they're tucked under her. I think they're supposed to be out this way. Yeah, everybody else's are out. What's going on with your feet, girl? Okay, so anyway, this one just cracks me up with the little curly cues. It's just too cute. So there you go with the gnomes. This was another big find. They have a lot of new beauty finds. I am trying not to buy a bunch of stuff just to be buying. And I have a lot of beauty products from last year and probably some from the year before that I'm still working through. So unless I see something that I just feel like I cannot live without, I noticed they had an astringent. It was $1.25. It was a pretty good size bottle. I thought that was a good deal, you know, if you wanted to try it. So I saw that. They have a lot of different, what is that brand? Global Beauty, is that the brand? The Global Beauty stuff, everybody seems like they're gaga over the Global Beauty, and I'm not against it, but I feel like the Global Beauty stuff I have bought so far, I wasn't just overwhelmed with. There was nothing wrong with that. And $1.25, most of the time I don't feel like I've wasted my money because it's just not that, you know, it's just not that much money. And I don't go crazy with it, but I just don't love the Global Beauty as much. And the packaging is pretty small. Of course, some of the other stuff I bought, the packaging was pretty small too. So it's probably not that much difference in size. But for me, I'm just going to skip over all this new Global Beauty or whatever that brand, I'm not even sure that's what it's called. Whatever the brand was, I'm skipping over all that and just kind of waiting to see what else is going to come out. And we'll just see how it goes. I might buy, if they get like a whole new set of something, I might buy it or I might not. So like skincare, a cleanser and a night cream and a day cream. I like when they get that stuff out and I can get a whole set. Although half the time it's picked over and you still can't get a set, but I can always try, right? But I did find this. So this is cucumber melon, and they also had this in cherry blossom. So I don't really care about cherry blossom. That's not really my favorite, but I thought I loved this scent, and it smells really good. It's pretty strong. It's not overboard. I don't think it's overboard, but as far as, you know, kind of, it's not the same as Bath and Body Works, you understand? But as far as kind of along the lines of a stronger scent, it's not as strong as that, but it's a little bit stronger. So if you don't like strong scents, you probably won't like this. But you know what? You can never tell. This is a brand that's made in Mexico. Moisturizing body lotion, 8 ounces. You can never really tell because this woman that I watch, she was talking about a shampoo and she said she did not like it. She was going to pass it along to one of her daughters or a couple, you know, whoever in her family wanted it. But it was a citrus scent shampoo. It was one that I showed on here. And she said the smell stays in her hair for days. And I was like, so I used it the other day, but I've got a new thing I'm doing. I cannot get the curl to stay in my hair. Now I don't mind this. This is a nice look. It's nice and wavy. I don't have a problem with this. But the problem is, I curled it this morning, and it should be a lot curlier than this. And I sprayed it and sprayed it and sprayed it, and I pull it up like this and spray it so I get some good volume, and you see it's just like no volume at all. I mean, it's fine. I'm just sitting around the house, but at church, you know, I like to have a little oomph to my hair. It doesn't have to be huge, but just a little. I sprayed so much, I don't understand. And then by the time I got home, it was just like, so anyway, what I've started doing is putting this conditioner on first, and I'm using that wet brush that I showed y'all. It's not the Wet Brush brand, but it's the, or is it Goody that makes those? It's not that brand, but it's the wet brush that I got at Dollar Tree. I really like it. I really like that wet brush. I should have brought it in here because I forgot about it. But I showed it in the last video that I made for Dollar Tree. I really liked it. So my hair is real ratty. I talked about how my hair, I have a horrible time just, you know, even just combing my hair. I think this is working better. I'm putting conditioner on first, wetting my hair, putting conditioner on, then brushing it through with the wet brush, then shampooing it. So getting all the rats out, all the rats out first. And then pulling also, I have a lot of hair that I'll just lose in the shower. So just pulling a lot of hair out, and then I shampoo it. So it may be that that's why I'm not smelling it as strongly as she was, because she had the shampoo and the conditioner, and I could never find the conditioner. I only had the shampoo. So it may be that she said that the conditioner was really, really thick, like she could barely get out of the bottle. So she also passed it along because she didn't like that. But I just thought it was so interesting that scent had really clung to her hair, and I didn't feel like it clung to my hair at all. You know, after I washed it and dried it, I couldn't smell it any. But I used a different brand of conditioner because I didn't have that conditioner. So it may be if I had the shampoo and the conditioner, it would be more, but I'm kind of not thinking so, because I used the shampoo second, and I mean, I smelled a little citrus, but it was not strong. But she doesn't like really strong stuff around her face at all, and a lot of times I don't either. So I don't know. My whole point in saying all of that is you just can't tell. This might be pretty strong to me, and then you might not find it to be that strong, because I've noticed that with soaps and stuff. People, this peppermint soap, and it's so strong, and I'm like, it smells like peppermint when I'm like, you know, but you know, I can't smell it. In the bathroom, I can't really smell it. So I just find that we're all very different. So I think you almost have to try stuff yourself. The $5 item, I ran across these, and they had different sets. So they had a set that was black with accents. They had kind of a tan color, tan or brownish with accents, but I love bright colors. So the first thing I saw was this. It's 10 pairs for $5. And the more I thought about that, I thought, you know, that really is a good deal. I haven't been to Five Below in a long time, but you used to be able to get a pretty good size pack at Five Below for $5, but I'm not even sure it was 10. So this is the first one. Of course, I meant to get the scissors. When I went in the other room, I meant to get scissors. I'll just show you from this direction. So it's that. This one's just plain white. This one's got the pink, kind of a mauve pink with polka dots. I love that. There's only one in here I don't care for. And they're low, what do they call these, low cuts? I think they're like no-shows. This one, I don't care for this at all. I really don't wear that color. But if it's a no-show, I'll wear it, because I'm not gonna care, because I'm not gonna show. It's kind of a bright melon color, almost like an orangey, neon orange. And then that's a floral, I like that. And then more stripes, I like that one. This one's just a plain pink. And then we got blue polka dots. I could just about pay for this just for these blue polka dots. And then this one's got that neon in there, but it's also floral, so it's real pretty. It's got some purple. Yeah, you can see it better here. So you can see the end. You can see the end ones well. Anyway, it says it's Marilyn Monroe. One size fits most. Made in China, of course. Where else? Low cuts, $5. So anyway, that's that. 10 pairs for $5. I put it up. Oh, they even show you on here what they all look like. Right there. It kind of gives you an idea. I had it in my hand, and I was like, I don't know. And I put it away. And before I walked out of the store, I went back and got it, because I was thinking, well, normally you only get one pair of cute socks like this, or sometimes you might get two, but a lot of times I wouldn't like the second one. So, you know, like I might like the first one, but not the second one. So this is still a better deal, because it's 10 for $5. So I decided except for one, I liked them all. I thought that was a good deal. And then the only other stuff I got was cards. I've got a friend, I've got to mail. I'm always behind on mailing gifts. I'm not a gifts person. Not a gifts person. And then when I have to mail something, I put it off. I just put it off forever. So I got her this card. Let me make sure. Yeah. God made someone special. So now it's time to say, and she's a cat person. She's got a cat. She always just has one cat, but she has a cat. Hope you know you're loved so much today and every day. And like me, she just stays with the one cat. I was going to tell you my cat story. We have an extra cat now. I was never, if you know me at all, I have said, was never getting another cat again after Sunshine. She was so sick and it was just dreadful. Oh, I found this for my sister and it's beautiful. It's not time for her birthday and I'll probably lose it before it gets here, but this is the most beautiful card. I just thought this was gorgeous and I believe this was $1. I think both of these were $1. Look how pretty. And I love the sentiment. It says, your birthday gives me a chance to say the things I don't say often enough. Things like I love you and I'm so glad you're my sister. Have a wonderful birthday. Gorgeous. So I just had a birthday Friday. I'll tell you my story about my dad first. My dad has, of course, he's 93. He has skin cancer on his face. And so he just found out he has skin cancer. And then pretty quickly they scheduled him with a different doctor to do what's called Mohs, M-O-H-S surgery. Do any of y'all know about Mohs surgery? So I know my parents have had it in the past, but I know very little about it. So he wanted, at first he said he was going to drive himself, but I was going to be there on Friday. But if he could, I guess if he was going to drive himself, it wouldn't matter what day. Well, then he decided to go ahead and do it on Friday or try to get it on Friday when I was there. And I said, well, you don't even have to do that. I'll come whatever day you make it. I mean, Tuesday and Fridays, those are my work days. And then I work for him on Fridays. So I'm not working that much right now. So that's another thing I need to start working. We already talked about that, but I do not want to work, okay? I feel like I'm enjoying working out. I like to work out. That's what I'd like to be doing. Beside the point, totally beside the point. Anyway, so he made the appointment for Friday, which was fine. And then the complaining started, and I'm talking about on my end. So Friday was my birthday. He made the appointment for Friday. He did not know they were going to make him come so early in the morning. So it takes me like, because I usually have to stop on the way. My bladder just is not normal. So I can't even go an hour and 15 minutes without stopping. So usually within an hour, I got to stop. So factoring in stopping and whatever, maybe traffic, I'll say it's like an hour and a half to get to his house. I had to go pick him up and take him, and it's further than just stopping in Jackson. So from my house to Jackson, not that far, further to go pick him up and then take him back to the doctor. He was supposed to be there at 9:45 and I was like, I am not in a good mood about this. My birthday and I got to get up early. Not happy. So it turned out fine, except I felt a little groggy that day, which is, I'm usually not a real groggy person. I mean, sometimes, but I don't know. It was weird. So the whole day I just felt like dragged down, probably because I just was not in a good mood because I was having to do all this stuff that I didn't want to do. So, and the way he made it sound was like we could be there for hours and hours. Because I was like, well, it's just a doctor's appointment. It's not going to be a big deal. Well, then it got to be, it might be hours and hours. And I was like, it gets better and better. Well, the good news is we were only there 2 hours. They have to take a layer off and then look at it. This is my understanding, and I may be completely wrong. My understanding is that they take off one layer, they go look at it, or take off maybe what they think is enough. Maybe that's what it is. Go look at it, see if that's enough. And then if they have to take off more, then it's more hours. Well, it ended up being about 2 hours. And then I went, he said I could leave him there, which was fine. So I did that, and I went and tried to shut Mother's phone off. It takes an act of Congress, apparently, to shut a phone off. I even had the death certificate. I was like way ahead of the game. I was like, I believe if I have the death certificate, I can just get this taken care of. Well, no, it's actually not that simple. Dang it. Like, really? Why? Everything we've done has been difficult. Can I just tell you? Everything we try to do. The bank has been difficult. The other bank has been difficult. The Verizon has been difficult. So they're like, just get your dad's phone and you two just get together, which is almost impossible for us to get together for any amount of time to do anything because we've been dealing with the bank for hours. Well, that's just a whole nother story, but the bank has been ridiculous. So I've got to get Dad and his phone together with me so I can do all the punching. And then my sister's like, are you going to be having to do this on a flip phone? Because that's going to be a pain in the rear. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm thinking. A flip phone? Really? And I'm going to be doing what with the flip phone? because those things are, it's just not the same. It's not the same. There's a lot more going on here. So I'm hoping maybe the prompt, because he said just follow the prompts. I hope the prompts are like, say 1 or 2, say yes or no. I hope the prompts are like talking and not like pushing buttons. If it is, I'm just going to be like. So I also, now he didn't say I could do it with live chat, but I saw a thing, I'd like Googled it, and it looked like I could do it with live chat. And I'm like, why can't I just use her freaking phone and do it with, or not, no, just like go to a website. It said I need her social security number. I'm like, I have that right here. It's on the death certificate. So I wrote that down and put it in my calendar because I'm like, well, now I have it in my calendar because he wants the death certificate back. Anyway, why is everything so hard? I don't know. So where was I going with this? So, okay, so while my dad was there, I asked the girl at the desk, I said, so how long do you, I'm just going to run some errands. About how long do you think? Oh, 1 to 3 hours. And I was like, okay, that doesn't sound as bad as I thought. I was sort of led to believe this might be an all-day affair, and I was not looking forward to it, I got to tell you. And also, we were supposed to go out to lunch for my birthday. That ended up not happening. A little disappointing, but I mean, it's at this point, whatever. The whole year's been disappointing at this point. Whatever. So that's a little bit of a joke. So anyway, not everything has been disappointing. So I did Verizon. I went to Sam's and got a few things. I loaded his trunk up with my stuff at the Sam's Club. And then I go back over and pick him up, and I wasn't sitting there long. And now get this. Now, I'm not a medical person. And I told my sister, I said, this is what's wrong with medical people. And I'm not trying to be rude, but they called me back, and they're like, they called me Miss Drury. My last name was, not now. But she's like, and then she's like, well, she was kind of like, well, whatever your name is, that's not exactly what she said, but she knew Drury was probably not right, because that's my dad's name, and I'm just turned 56, probably not my name. So, although it could be. So anyway, I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can call me that. I don't care. Harder, it's actually easier to say my name. So anyways, I went back with her, not even thinking that, so we were just going to go back and talk, we're just going to tell you what we're doing and we're wrapping up and whatever. I get back there and he's got like blood streaming down his face like this. Like he'd been in an accident. I'm like, do y'all seriously bring family? And honestly, he was like, my dad, I'm not sure if he's still anemic. He goes to see a hematologist, and I'm not exactly sure what the testing is showing, but he looks anemic to me. So in other words, he looks pale and a bit pasty. So, and I know he's just been there recently, so I feel like he must be okay, or they would be doing more, you know what I mean? But he's laid back like this, like I thought he was sound asleep, and she said he's really just been relaxing and napping. And I was like, well, he's napping. So it looked like he was napping, also looked like he'd been in an accident because all his blood was here. And I wanted to say, does it occur to you people that a family member doesn't want to come back here, especially if they're non-medical? Like I am non-medical, okay? Does it occur to you that maybe the family member doesn't want to see blood streaming down their loved one's face? I know it probably doesn't, because y'all are medical. And all y'all can think about is that blood is normal. So I was just like, oh my gosh. Well, and I told my sister, I said, I mean, it's just, no, I don't even think I said this. I don't even think I said, well, it's a good thing I'm not the passing out type. Or I think I was about to say it. She said, well, I don't know why they would do that. She said, we really don't like people to pass out. And I said, exactly. Like, I'm not the passing out type. And I've seen blood before. So I'm not that person. On the other hand, I was like, I don't know. I feel like every time I go into any kind of medical anything, like the whole thing with my mother was like some big nightmare. And then this thing with my dad, I'm sure it was fine, but blood was streaming down his face. Looked like something out of a movie. I was like, anyway, they cleaned it up pretty quick. So it's like, you couldn't have done that before I got in here. And then they, gave me all these instructions. And I was telling him, because he looked like he was asleep, right? And he said, yeah, I know. I said, you don't have to buy anything expensive. She said, just use Vaseline. I know. And I'm like, how did you know? Well, I heard him. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you were awake, because he looked like he was napping. Anyway, so then he said, well, did you want to go to lunch now? And I said, well, because I was kind of hungry and I thought this was going to take 3 hours. So I had brought lunch with me, so I just ate lunch. He said, "That's fine. Let's drive over to the foot doctor." I knew we need to go there too. He's got a foot doctor that he goes. They will let him in immediately. He's got some kind of foot problem. Do not. My friend was trying to ask me. I'm like, do not ask me. I was at the appointment. I saw his foot. Didn't look good to me. The doctor said, "Looks great. Your foot looks great." And Dad and I are like, again, medical people. He took his sock off, and I was like, that's about the thought I had in my head was, what is happening? His foot did not look great. Okay. He's like, "It looks great. It looks like an infection has healed up." Is that what that is? I don't know. Anyway, is my life destined to be this way, that every time we go into a doctor's office, something strange happens? I don't know, or at a rehab or at a hospital or whatever, where a doctor's involved. So that's been their doctor forever. He actually said to me, "I don't think I've met you before." And I said, "Actually, I met you when Mother came in." I said, "And also like 35 years ago," so he's an older man, 35 years ago, "you fixed my foot he's a podiatrist. I had a tiny little fracture in my foot. I walked on it for months. And he said I was going to have arthritis, and I have just maybe barely a touch." I got very lucky because I really don't even notice it. But I think I noticed it enough that I can point. I was like, this was the foot. I had this little tiny fracture under my foot. He said, "I had one of those one time too." But of course, he didn't remember me because this was like I said, I might have known Spencer at the time, but it was early on in college, very early. So like 88, I jumped off this brick ledge and onto concrete. And you would think at that age, because I was like 19, it would have been fine. No, I broke my foot. Just a tiny little, what do they call that? A hairline fracture. So I didn't have to wear a cast or anything. I just he put something, it was great. He put something in my shoe. I had like certain shoes that I wore all the time. And I wore that little pad and the little insert in my shoe. It went away. It was great. So really have never had any more problems. I just wore that thing in my shoe. So anyway, great guy, love him. But when he said, "It just looks great, it's all healed up," and Dad was like, and my dad usually will not speak up for himself. He's like the opposite of me and my mom. Me and my mom are the type that we're just like blazing a fire through there. And my dad was like, "I didn't think it looked that good." And he said, "Well, does it hurt?" And he said, "Well, it doesn't hurt right now, but it did." I don't know. Anyway, that's my dad's story. My other story is with the cat. This video could go on forever, but I'm going to wrap it up. I was never going to bring another cat in here ever, and I haven't brought it in the house. I believe it's probably going to have to stay outside. It's a little boy, and it's not a little tiny baby. It's a lot smaller than my cat, so I'm thinking it cannot be that old. However, it's running around here and shrieking and running little girl cat up the tree, and so it's obviously doing things it should not be doing. So, unfortunately, I would have already taken it and gotten this problem solved, except that he doesn't show up as often as you hope. So my idea was, well, if he showed up every morning to eat, I could just make an appointment. I think my vet does surgery, unless he's changed it, because he does change it, Mondays and Wednesdays, I think. So I thought, well, I'll just get an appointment like for a Wednesday. Sounds good. I have not yet been able to accomplish this because he does not show up every day. And I feel guilty about making appointments and then canceling them. So sometimes he will not show up for 3 days. So it's like, because you would think, well, I can make a Monday and a Wednesday appointment. And if he doesn't come Monday, surely he'll show up Wednesday. Because I think they would work. If I said, I'm having this problem, it's a stray cat, but I really, really, really want this cat neutered like right now. Because seriously, a couple days ago, there was a lot of shrieking in my yard. It was actually the next door neighbor's yard. And I'm like, what is happening? I thought someone was killing him. That's what I thought. And because something has happened to his tail. His tail's only about maybe this long. And the end is about this long. And the end looks like the end of this part, this little bitty end on the end, it looks like a possum tail. So the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, like something's going to have to happen with this tail. So it's not just a neuter. It's also probably this tail's got to come off because it does not look good to me. Some days it looks okay. Some days it does not look okay. I'm spraying stuff. I'm doing stuff. I'm trying stuff, but I don't think we can do this forever. We've already been doing this for weeks. It's really not fixing the problem. So I think the tail's gonna have to go. And I want my vet to do it. I don't want just Joe Blow. I want my vet to do it. So, of course, because, you know, why not spend $500 on him? So my dad's like, I don't really understand what the problem is. I'm like, it's not just a simple neuter, Dad. There's something going on with his tail. It's not good. So anyway, I don't know, surely the girl hadn't run him up a tree. I think he had run the girl up the tree. They were way, way, way up the tree. And I'm like, what's happening here? And then they both come crashing down and run off. And so then I'm on somebody else's property and I go wandering over there. And luckily he's in Florida. His car's not there, so I know where he is. So I'm over here like, oh, I named him Adrian. I'm like, Adrian, kitty, Adrian, kitty. And Spencer calls him Boo. So I'm like, Boo, Boo. Oh, he's black. He's black. Solid black. Boo, Adrian, where are you? And then he's nonchalantly sitting on the porch. He's like, and the little girl has shot across here and she's run off somewhere. And I'm like, oh, God bless her. Poor thing. And then, I don't know. So I was so mad. I was like, get back to the house, you know, just get back to the house. So he doesn't really live on our property. He's here some, and he's gone some. So in other words, I'm going to spend a whole lot of money on a cat I saw him one day, it's like 2 or 3 streets over. I'm going to spend money on a cat that's just wandering all over. So we already know how that's going to go, right? That's why I've kind of been putting it off, because I thought, well, if I wait long enough, he'll do like a lot of the other ones. He'll get hit by a car and we won't have to worry about the $500, because then we'll have just flushed that down the toilet is how I kind of feel about it, because we've actually done this before. So I'm kind of like, okay, look, if you're going to get hit by a car, let's do it before we, you know, try to wrestle you into a carrier, because that could be fun. In the meantime, we're holding him and petting him and getting him real tame, because at some point I'm going to definitely try to get him into the carrier, but I don't know. It's a mess. It's just a mess. And all I can think of was that tail needs to come off. Like, that tail needs to come off, like now. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.